Since you clicked this video, you probably like to read or collect manga. Of course, you want your manga to stay in the best condition possible, instead of turning yellow like this. This volume turned yellow after 10 years of being exposed to the sun. Don't worry, this wasn't me. I bought the second hand. There are more factors than just UV rays though. If you put your manga unprotected in your bookcase like this, it's also vulnerable to moisture, dust or dirt. Hello fellow manga readers, today I'm going to show you how I protect my manga. Now if you also need more manga to protect, don't hesitate to join my giveaway, which ends April 1st. You can click the card in the upper right corner or click the link in the description to join. Now I often see people use drawers to put their mangas in or use UV blockers in front of their bookcases. But I think bookcases not only exist to store your manga, but also to show off your manga, like a manga museum or mangoseum. None of these methods will involve hiding your manga from view because they deserve to be presented. Now without any further ado, let's get started with the easiest way to protect your manga, because this doesn't require any tools and it's a one-time purchase. However, it does come with a big disadvantage, being that you'll have to rely on artificial lighting in your room from now on. That's right, I'm talking about blinds. I have blinds on both sides of my room and I keep them closed as much as I can because I don't want my books to look yellow like this. I do have over 10 lights in my room to simulate natural lighting, but opening your blinds will always look better. Luckily, there are more ways to protect your manga, also protecting your manga from dirt, dust and moisture. This is the method I use most and one I can recommend to most people. But it is the most time-consuming and environmentally unfriendly method. I'm talking about sealing your manga. All you need is a heat sealing machine like this, which cost me around $30 for this 30 centimeter long model, and sealing bags like these, which cost me $10 for 100 bags. You do need to measure your bags to see if they fit your manga. The bags I have can fit up to a perfect edition size, so deluxe edition size are out of the question. These bags are open on the top, have a circular hole on the bottom on both sides for the sealing to work properly. Then finally I have this heat gun, which cost me around €20, but I already had this on hand for my PC water cooling. You can probably get yours a bit cheaper. Now what are the advantages of sealing your manga? It protects your manga against moisture, dust and dirt. Some bags even protect your manga against UV, but those are a bit more expensive. Once you have the heat gun and the sealing machine, it's relatively inexpensive to get the bags, and your manga will look like new again. There are disadvantages though, as the seal is a one-time use. Once you take your manga out of the seal, you'll need to reseal it again, which makes it also a bit environmentally unfriendly. Finally, it takes quite a long time to bag, cut and heat your manga, so if you have a big collection, it'll take a long time. The bags might also rip while cutting them to size before heating, making it very frustrating. I still chose this method because it's inexpensive, my manga looks like new and they'll be protected from the elements. Except from UV, because I didn't know those bags even existed before buying these bags. It's also really satisfying to do. I even live streamed myself sealing manga and quite a few of you liked watching it. So for this example I have here a light novel of a pretty big size, pretty much Viz signature size, but a bit thinner of course because it's a light novel. We're going to be sealing this with these shrimp wrap bags that you can have for around $8.50 per 100 bags. As you can see, here's the hole that I talked about. So it can actually, properly shrink by taking out the air or whatever it's doing. So first what you're going to do is you're going to take your light novel and you're going to put it inside the bag. Now this is the only open space in the bag, it's the top. And this one is going to be a tight fit. So after getting it in like this, basically what you need to do is you're going to pull this like that. You're going to cut it like this, right? So what you're going to need to do is make sure that it's fully pressed here against the spine of the manga, the bag. So that means that if you cut it and you're going to heat it up, it's going to have the best chance of looking the best it can. Because if it has to shrink a lot, it'll basically like shrivel up and not look that great. Right now we're going to need a sealing machine here, and you want to make sure that the shrink wrap here is perfectly on top of each other. If there's like wrinkles, it'll actually tear like before you even try to heat it. So if you do heat it, the tail will pretty much get bigger and it'll be like a hole in the seal, which doesn't look great. So we want to make sure that it's nice and flush. There we go. You want to wait another second when it turns off, then get it off of there, and you'll see it's a nice seal. So this is what you'll need these scissors for. You're going to go right next to that line because you don't want to, of course, cut through the seal. That would not be very desirable. And stay as close to the seal bit as possible, because if you get too far away from it, which I'll show, it'll not look that great, because that just won't shrink at all. Alright, so this we can throw away. That's one thing about this sealing method. It's very environmentally unfriendly, but I do reuse this actually, because when I ship manga, I have a lot of bubble wrap which I pack with, but I also use this to fill up the box to protect the manga, so that kind of helps. Right, we don't need these anymore, so what we'll need now is pretty much just a heat gun. The way I always do it is I start with this spine, and then I go down to the beneath here, and then I'll heat it all the way up here, up there, then front, then back, and then we can pretty much start heating. Now this is a 2000 watt heat gun, and I'm going to use the first mode because you don't want to scorch your manga, right? It's not something you would want. So make sure that it's nice up against there. So we're pretty much done now. As you might have been able to see on camera, I might have done a few oopsies. Now, we actually got a few holes on here, and actually I don't really regularly get holes. Well, on this one, like I told you when cutting, you want to make sure that you do not cut through the seal itself, and that's what happened here. So as you can see, the seal in the middle there is open, which means you'll need to reseal it because you can't really like use this seal for anything else. Pretty much you toss it away. Then you also have a hole here in the front and one in the back, so you don't want to heat it too much, okay? That's one thing. Don't get it too hot because that's not good for the manga either, and for the seal, because this pretty much expanded the hole which was meant to help seal the manga. So these are just some things, some tips to help you if you're actually going to seal it like this. This is a pretty good example of how not to do it. But if you follow all of the things I just said in this video, then you should get a perfectly sealed light novel or manga, and you can just unwrap it like this whenever you want to read it. It feels like a brand new volume, which is very nice. Now let's get back to the video. You can also bag your manga with these reusable manga bags. They cost me around the same as the shrink wrap bags I talked about previously, and it's better for the environment and it saves you a lot of time. However, you can't make the bags shrink like you can with the previous bags, so you need 2 or more sizes of bags to bag your manga. Otherwise there will be way too much excess bag and will not look nice. Some manga are thicker, wider or taller after all. Very few manga shops that I know of bag their manga like this, but I do like how they look and the fact that they are reusable. So, what are you going to do to protect your manga? Close your blinds, shrink wrap your manga, or something else? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you learned something today, and I hope to see you again in the next video, which will be a manga shopping vlog in Amsterdam. If you'd like to see that, join us manga readers, and we'll see you there. Bye bye!